let me explain it like this. I think there's a problem that we often have when we talk about like morality, and specifically in story tropes when we talk about morality, because obviously as humans we have very specific moral terms and very specific moral understanding of things. So good is good and evil is evil, and if you do things that Sargeras have done, then that we describe as evil. Can we ascribe the mortal understanding of morality to a god? That's really the question we have to ask ourselves here, because in relation to us, Sargeras really is a god. We are largely insignificant to Sargeras. So imagine this for a second. Let's say that you had this enemy. You were a general at the forefront of an army, and on the other side of this field, there's your enemy. And if this enemy wins, the world dies. So this enemy will destroy the whole world. But in between you and this enemy, there are millions and millions of ants and their homes and mounds everywhere. These are their homes. If you go to war here, you will destroy their entire ecosystem forever. You will kill all of them. Will the ants even enter your consciousness as you're making your decisions? The answer is obviously no. You won't even give the ants a second thought. They don't matter because your enemy is on this side, you're on this side, your enemy threatens to destroy the entire world. You have to stop them. The ants don't matter. And this is where morality from a god's perspective comes in. And that changes things, right? So for Sargeras, did he corrupt the Draenei? Yes. Did he turn them into his own personal army of fuckery? Yes. But can we look at it and judge it as mortals would judge it? When he isn't mortal, he doesn't care, right? Not for us. What he cares about is the ultimate enemy on the other side. He needs to destroy that enemy. This is why I don't think anyone, not even the jailer, is a bad guy in World of Warcraft, because again, they look at the universe, at the cosmos, on such a grander scale. To them, it's sort of like this argument of, should you kill 1 million people in order to save 1 billion people? Right? That's that sort of argument. Is it okay to sacrifice 1 in order to save 100? Is it okay to sacrifice 1,000 in order to save 100,000? And I think almost always, whilst being one of the most difficult decisions one can make, it is the decision that most people will make, is sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed as long as what you're saving is greater than that which you are sacrificing. And therein lies the rub. But for a creature like Sargeras, for a being like Sargeras, if truly the thing that they are fighting is this big bad evil within our universe, there is every reason to believe that he would stop at nothing. Even if that meant destroying all mortals, he would stop at nothing to stop that enemy. Because he understands that if that enemy isn't stopped, the mortals will die anyway, and everything else alongside it. Now, again, I want to be clear. The only evidence we have of Sargeras ever wanting to destroy all life comes from the Titans. The Titans in the Chronicles tell us that Sargeras wants to destroy all life in the universe. But remember, the Chronicles is a book written from their perspective, by their hand. So, how much of that can you actually trust? We don't know anything about Sargeras. Now, we'll see, obviously, where Blizzard wants to take this story, because right now, Illidan is spending all of his days watching over Sargeras, and there's no chance that they're not having conversations, you know, as they're sort of trapped in very close proximity to one another. And to the argument of Broxigar, Broxigar may emerge not as an angry servant of, or an angry foe of Sargeras, but actually as an ally. Yeah, I mean, so again, it depends. But I genuinely think it's difficult to judge gods the same way that we would judge mortals. It does feel a bit wishy-washy, because in the Illidan novel, Illidan viewed world after world void of life. Oceans of blood, he's worlds, things like that. It's what Illidan saw. It's not necessarily what actually happened. It's what Illidan saw. Again, what we would need, I think, this is just my opinion, but I think what we would need is an actual line from the man himself. I'm not saying that Sargeras isn't a bad guy. Let me be clear on that. I don't think that Sargeras is a good guy necessarily, but I do think that Sargeras isn't the person that the Titans say he is. If that makes sense. I don't trust anything the Titans say, because the Titans always say everything with an angle. There's always a reason why the Titans would say something. And it doesn't mean that what they're saying, the opposite of that is true. So it doesn't mean that, you know, because they said Sargeras is evil, therefore Sargeras is actually good. It really just means that it might not be, like, what they said Sargeras wants to do might not actually be what Sargeras wants to do. There might be a whole different layer there. What I will say, and this is perhaps on us, it is clear that whatever Sargeras wants to do, he's not taking our happiness into account. Okay? So this is where we can absolutely agree with each other. It's not like Sargeras is thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna help these mortals. No. Sargeras couldn't give two shits about these mortals. As far as Sargeras is concerned, he has a goal. He has an enemy that he wishes to defeat. And we are either tools or obstacles. If we are obstacles, we will be removed justly and swiftly. If we are tools, then we will be used. Now, for Sargeras, the easiest way to use us is through the foul, because that provides him a layer of control that he would otherwise not necessarily have. You know, because if he just allowed for the, for the Draenei to join and not corrupt them through foul, there's always a chance that they could sort of turn around and be like, nah, never mind, fam, I changed my mind. So obviously, once you do join, he does exert control by corrupting you with foul, and also giving you great powers as a result thereof. So yeah, it is definitely same goal as Zuvul, different method. Zuvul, domination, everyone does as I say. Sargeras, also kind of domination, but through corruption, rather than just domination magic. That's sort of how I view it, at least, if that makes any sense.